Pig Heart Boy by Mallory Blackman. Chapter 2. Ticking. The noise was deafening. Shouting, screaming, laughing, shrieking. It was so thunderous. I thought my head was about to explode. I took a deep breath, breathed out, inhaled again, and then dipped down until my head was completely underwater. Silence. Peace. It was like a radio being switched off. I sat down at the bottom of the swimming pool and opened my eyes. The chlorine in the water stung, but better that than not seeing what was coming and being kicked in the face. I would have liked to stay down there forever, but within seconds my lungs were aching, and there came a sharp stabbing pain in my chest. My blood roared like some kind of angry monster in my ears. I closed my eyes and stood up slowly. If I had to emerge, it would be at my own pace and in my own time, no matter how much my body screamed at me to take a breath as fast as I could. I was the one in control. Not my lungs, not my blood, not my heart. "Cam, are you all right?" I opened my eyes. Marlon stood in front of me, his eyes dark and huge with concern. I inhaled sharply, waiting for the roaring in my ears to subside. The pain in my chest took a little longer. "Course I'm fine," I replied, a little breathlessly. "What were you doing?" "Just sitting down." Marlon frowned. "Is that smart?" "I was just sitting down. Don't fuss. Sometimes you're worse than Mum and Dad," I said. "If your parents find out you're here every Tuesday instead of at my house, I'm the one who'll get it in the neck. And every other bodily part," Marlon pointed out. I smiled. "If you don't tell them, I won't." "How can you be so calm about it? Every time we come here, I'm terrified some grown-up who knows your family's going to spot you and tell my parents." Marlon looked around the pool anxiously, as if expecting his words to come true at that precise moment. "Marlon, you worry too much." My smile broadened at the pain in my chest, as the pain in my chest lessened. "How long were you underwater?" "A few seconds. Why?" "I really don't think you should." I'd had enough. "Marlon, go away," I snapped. "You're getting on my last nerve." I know what you were doing, and you can stop it," I said firmly. "You're beginning to cheese me off." Marlon clamped his lips together tight and looked away. He was hurt, and we both knew it. I fought down the urge to apologise. Why should I say sorry? Marlon knew how much I hated to be clucked over, and as always I caved in. "Look, Marlon, I got no further. "Hey, Marlon, you on for a daredevil dive?" Rashid called out. "Yeah, come in," Marlon replied. He turned to me. "See you in a minute." And with that he swam off towards the middle of the pool. I waded over to the stairs, the water sloshing around my thighs. I rubbed my eyes, which were still stinging, before climbing out. I turned to Rashid. Nathan and Andrew were all splashing about. Marlon had just reached them. I didn't want to watch, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't bring myself to look away. Instead, I sat down on the edge of the pool, my legs dangling in the water as I watched my friends. I sidled a bit closer until I could hear them as well. Kicking out leisurely with my legs, I looked straight ahead, although I was listening to every word Marlon and the others said. "Everyone ready?" asked Rashid. "OK, let's do it. First, one to dive and touch the bottom and then come back up and touch the side of the pool wins. Ready? Steady. Go." In that instant, all four boys disappeared under the water. I held my breath as I watched, until my lungs started to ache and my heart started to pound and I couldn't hold it any longer. And still none of my friends had emerged from the water. I gasped, my whole body screaming in angry, pained protest as I concentrated on filling my lungs. "Slow down." "I've stopped holding my breath now," I told my heart. "Just slow down." I knew that within the next few weeks I'd no longer be able to come swimming with Marlon and my other friends. I knew it was as surely as I knew my own name, because my heart was getting worse. So I had to hang on to those last moments of independence, even if I was fooling myself. Travis, our school moron, was right about that at least. I was a weed, and a feeble one at that. Long moments later, Marlon and Andrew emerged from the water, quickly followed by Rashid and then Nathan. Some swam, some thrashed for the side of the pool. Marlon made it back first, laughing and gasping. Marlon always made it back first. I win, Marlon shouted. Let's do it again, said Andrew. Only this time we have to go down and come up and then do the same before we make for the pool side. I gave the water one last vicious kick and then stood up slowly. I couldn't bear to listen any more. It was as if there was a glass wall separating me from the rest of the world. All I could do was watch and envy my friends as they swam and dived and did whatever they wanted without a care in the world. They never bothered to ask me if I wanted to join them. They all knew I couldn't. I was weak and feeble and had to stay in the shallow end. I shouldn't have been in this pool in the first place, and we all knew it. I turned and watched Marlon and the others play daredevil dive again. There in the middle of the pool, not the deep end, the bottom of the pool sloped down, gently, from the shallow end, for 3/4 of the pool, then came to a sudden drop, like the end of the underwater cliff. And after that, the water was really deep. That's how they played daredevil dive. They had to dive and touch the bottom of the pool at the deep end before emerging from the water. The deep end of the pool was several metres down, so there was no way I could join in. I wondered bitterly what it must be like to kick your legs and dive down without fear that your heart would give out before you got to the bottom. What was it like to dive with that body that could do as your mind commanded? I would never know again. I walked back to the changing rooms, my mind swimming as my body could not. By the entrance to the pool there was a full-length mirror. I caught sight of myself. My shoulders drooped, my mouth turned down, my eyes miserable. I looked at my torso. I clenched my fist and banged it against the side of the chest in what started off as a slow tattoo, which grew increasingly faster and harder. In there, I couldn't see it, but I could hear it and feel it, and it was ruining my life. I could do anything. I could run, I couldn't dance, I couldn't play football, I couldn't swim, and it was all because of my heart. I hated it. Here, Cam, what you doing? Marlon called out from the pool. Only then did I remember where I was. Nothing. Look, Marlon, I'm going to go home, okay? Are you all right? Marlon asked, concerned. I'm fine. I'll see you at the park tomorrow, I called back. Oh, okay, Marlon said. We'll have a good game of football for you to watch tomorrow with Challenge Manor Park. My smile faded. I'll be there, I called out. Without waiting for Marlon to respond, I walked to the changing rooms. Marlon automatically assumed that I would be a spectator. But then what else could I do? I wasn't much use for anything except watching.